What's up, Thunder fans? Welcome back, Thunder Forum Live, as the Thunder win 134-128 in a game that was high scoring again for the Thunder. It's getting hard to watch the three-pointer barrage against the Thunder right now. And let's start with this comment by Jesse. I think let's just get right into it. SGA played unbelievable today. Down the stretch, distributing the ball was great. And then he made some shots when he needed to. But I thought him distributing down the stretch was awesome. That's what an MVP does, and that's what he did tonight. Jesse, you
career
can't
night.
Say big time play by SGA.
Career night for SGA. Thunder PR putting out. Not only did he set a record for career points in a game with 45, but he's the first player in NBA history to have at least 45, 9 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks in a single game. So all around impressive night for SGA.
Hey, take that hat off, throw it away.
Hey, you know when the Thunder are at their best? You know when the Thunder are at their best?
When they're hitting threes and running in transition.
Well, that works too, but SGA had 40, but guess what? When he's getting 9 assists a night, they're not losing. I'm just going to he needs to be I think he needs to be a guy that averages 10 assists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shai, man, he looks like the MVP form that we saw him look last year. He struggled some in points this year. Versus Golden State, too, there was points in the game where he was forcing stuff. And tonight he was getting to his spots, hitting the shots from his spots, which is key. That's something he hasn't been doing consistently, is hitting the shots from the high post area, getting into his post fades. It's what he does at an elite level, probably the best in the NBA at it, just getting to his spots.
Yeah, and it's 16 from the line.
Yeah, that's super key. And J-Dub also played a huge game tonight, which is you're going to need J-Dub to step up big time while Chet's out. He's going to need to be the number 2 option that we know he can be, averaging 20-plus a night, helping take some of the load off Shai.
Yeah, Caruso did better, but here's what I'll say, Colin. Down the stretch, he had a couple wide open. One was an air ball, and then he missed the other one too. But, guys, you got to give it up to Caruso, Jay Williams. They were playing on Zubac. I mean, are you kidding me? And they were doing okay. I mean, they were surviving, bodying him up, whatever they could do. I thought that was great. It was nice to have Kenrich back. I know he didn't do a whole lot tonight, but I'm just saying it's nice to have him available. But, guys, we can talk about positives all we want. They got to figure something out on three-point defense.
I was going to ask.
55%. And here's the thing. I know Powell was out of his mind tonight, okay? He was doing fadeaways from the three-point line. But you know what? When you're in the NBA and you got a guy that hot, you know what you do to change it up? Let him go around you. Shoot a mid-range. It gets them off their game from 3. I'm a firm believer in just let it get all the way on him. Let him go around you. Change their rhythm up. Or something when it's that good.
Hunter, I'm going to ask you this because, first off, I'm going to answer Benjamin's question. I don't think they're getting a top 5 pick with the Clippers pick, and I'll tell you why. Norman Powell is averaging about 25 a game. Norman Powell is maybe the next no, you can sit there and shake your head.
Hold your horses there, Joe.
Norman Powell's going to be borderline all-star. You heard it here first. And my question for you is this.
That is crazy.
Okay, cool. Hunter, I have a question for you specifically because I just want to hear your take on it. Jay mentions 3-point shooting. It's been defense, 3-point shooting defense atrocious. How can a team that's this athleticism is not a weakness for this team? They are athletic at every position. So why are they struggling so bad defending the 3-point line? I want Hunter to answer it first.
Oh, let Hunter go first.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for you, Jeremy.
I do.
I think right now is still adjusting to no Chet is part of it. Part of it, not all of it. And again, teams are going to shoot well from 3. They have to figure it out. That's been the issue the last 2 games for the Thunder, and they're fortunate to get the win tonight.
Here's the deal, in my opinion, on the 3-pointers. There's a lot of times it's 1-on-1 and a guy makes a crazy shot. There's also a lot of times sometimes I feel like they double too much.
Well, right now they almost have
a little too much, and you can't.
But right now you have to.
Well, I'd rather Zubac beat me.
Well, but that's just 2 points every time, Jay.
Well,
you can't let Zubac just.
It's a fine line, Hunter. It's a fine line.
but it's really not. Like you
Powell was
can't-
shooting better than Zubac.
Jay,
Powell
you
shot
called him
what you
Zubac,
say.
Zubac.
I don't care
He's
what
not
his name
German.
is.
It's Zubac.
Zubac.
Jay, not
Five of eight
Zubac.
from three. Derek Jones Jr. 4 or 5 from
I'll
three.
call him Bugac. Bugac, Zubac. I don't care. He's not any good, okay?
We can move on, but it doesn't. You can't just allow him one-on-one right now with either J-Dub or Caruso on him, because that's 2 points every single attempt. I mean, there's about a 50% chance they miss that three. You have to take your chance there. It's something they're going to have to figure out. Kenny got 6 minutes tonight. Would expect him to start ramping it up. First game back for him, and he's going to have to step up for the Thunder, as they're looking at about 3 weeks with no Jay Will and no Hartenstein, and then the big news being Chet out for minimum of 8 to 10 weeks with the fracture.
You got to.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackson.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I have a question for all of you guys. When it comes to these next 3 weeks, do you guys think it's worth it for the Thunder to go and maybe give up a couple second-round picks to trade for a guy that's just going to get boards on a super cheap contract?
Well, name a player for one, Jackson.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think they need to package something at the trade deadline and go get a big.
Well, a player that I would love to see them get is Andre Drummond.
Oh, okay, Germ, real quick pause on that.
Yeah.
To package players at the deadline, unless something else happens, they're going to have all 4 of their guys back.
Yeah.
So why are you going to get another big?
Chet was not going to be back.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Is 8 to 10 weeks reevaluated.
Reevaluating, dude. I'm
Okay.
not banking on Chet
Hey,
being back this season.
Mr. Injury Expert, real quick. The trade deadline's another month and a half past that 8 to 10 marks. That's another 6 weeks.
Yeah,
for
they'll
Chet.
know what he's going to do by then.
Exactly.
And
There's
they're
a
going to know
very
what.
good chance that all 4 are back unless something else happens.
Hunter,
From
let me ask you this.
They're also going to know what.
If they reevaluate in 10 weeks and they say it's going to be about 8 weeks, he'll be back maybe in time for playoffs. Are you packaging something?
What is the what ifs, man? Just
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that situation, I would imagine Hartenstein is healthy unless he's re-injured. I would imagine Jay Will's healthy unless he's re-injured. So you still have 3 bigs right there. I think you roll with what you got.
And by the way, kudos to Chet Holmgren for the message he sends out last night from the hospital bed. It was spot on.
Hey, and Colin, I want to answer Colin's question. That's part of NBA and that's part of playing. And if you can control your game enough where you can bait guys into fouling you, kudos. That's what I say. It's an art. To me, that's an art.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, Hunter, and Germ, how would you guys feel if the Thunder, if they went and signed this player? Just for a few weeks, you sign him for a partially guaranteed deal, and then you can drop him whenever your guy's back healthy. Dwight Howard.
No. He was on Dancing with the Stars. No.
Was the last organized basketball he played with like the Shanghai Sharks?
Shanghai
Sharks. It's an
Dancing with
someone to get rebounds, man. All you need to do is get a couple more boards a game.
I got a name for you, though. Seriously, I got a name for you. He's getting ready to be without a job next year. Charles Barkley. Have you thought about him, Jackson?
Yeah, I got words
Might
for
as
you.
well.
I got words for you on Charles Barkley.
That's
It would be terrible pick.
No, hey, guys, how about we just go out and sign Shaq at this point?
Hey, Dennis Rodman might be available too, Jackson.
Hunter,
Dude,
Jackson, you lost credibility.
Dwight Howard to these players, Jay.
No, because
Dwight
it's
Howard's
a
still an
stupid
age
thing
play
that you
basketball.
said. That's why.
I know. I just asked you guys to think about the option.
Here's the deal, guys. Let's talk about the options for a second. They don't need to go get a big right now. That's the option. They don't.
The key is right now they don't. Yes.
They don't. You wait. Now you see down the road, if you're not going to get guys back, then maybe you consider at the trade deadline. But right now, it's silly to talk about it.
I think something that the Thunder do need is a good secondary ball handler besides Shai.
Jordan was typing Shaq when I said Barkley. I forgot about Shaq. He'd be a good one.
I said Shai.
Dang, Jordan. What were you saying, Jackson?
What, Germ?
The free throw talk. I'm going to go off and I'm going to get really upset on these comments. Not at the comments, just about the league. I can't stand the way NBA is officiated. And I'm going to say this again.
In what way?
I'm going to tell you right now, Jay. A foul is a foul is a foul is a foul.
Okay, where are you going with this?
It bothers me that a foul is not called that. Depending on who the player is when they call it. If it's a foul every time.
But Jerm, don't you think Dort gets away with a lot?
That has nothing to do with the Thunder. You're proving my point. Guys who are known as great defenders get away with absolute ridiculous.
That's my point.
Hold on. Let me here's an example I have to back your answer up completely.
And it is so different in the playoffs.
Last night when the Thunder played the Warriors, I believe it was Isaiah Joe that tried to take a charge on Steph Curry. He was there in plenty of time. Steph Curry got the and1, the blocking call.
Isaiah Joe will never get a charge call against Steph Curry ever.
Did the same thing on someone else in almost the exact same spot, and they called the charge on DeAnthony Melton. The NBA is officiated based upon the player's name.
But Melton's. Oh, you're saying they called it when he.
And that's my problem. A foul is a foul is a foul is a foul.
Yes.
Hey, on a serious note, a couple options. I can't remember who. 80 said bring back Moose. That could be an option if they were temporarily going to go with somebody. Bismack Biyombo also was on the Thunder last year.
I'd rather have
I'm with you, Jerm.
Moose
is one of my favorite players. I'm with you on that. And then also
Nick Collison
come back too. He'd do it.
Nick Collison works for the team still. He's
suit up.
Yeah.
Nick Collison and Dwight Howard signed them both.
Moses Brown, former Thunder as well, another option.
Who was the guy out of Michigan? Who was the guy out of Michigan they drafted really high?
Now, hey.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, the lefty.
He got caught in what was
Steven Adams would be great.
Yeah,
Mitch McGarry?
Mitch McGarry. Oh.
Hey, why are the phone lines open?
What?
What?
I don't even know what he said. Mitch McGarry.
Yeah.
Hunter, I was getting ready to leave.
I still can't believe they retired Collison's number and put his jersey in the right. I kind of can, though. I kind of can.
Well, something that I think the Thunder do need to do, Jay, you asked me what I said earlier. They need to get a secondary ball handler besides Shai. I don't think they have a good secondary ball handler. I think Casey Wallace is okay at it, but I don't think you just have a true point guard that can get you into your sets outside of Shai on a consistent level.
What does Mr. Thunder hate? I'm confused by that one. We got Platoon 20 on the line. What's up?
Hey guys, I just wanted to comment about Chet Holmgren. I work in orthopedics, so I'm not a hip specialist, but some of my colleagues are. So I wanted to provide a little context. Obviously, I can't go into. I don't know exactly what his case is because there's a bunch of different ways you can fracture your hip. So, but my general thought is, I think it's gonna be longer than what they're saying. I mean, when they say a reevaluation period, that's just looking at how the bone is healing, right? He's still not going to be cleared for practice at 10-week mark. There's no way. So now the good news is it looks like he doesn't need any surgery, which is good news because they would have already announced that by now. So the fact that they can do conservative management and just watch him let the bone heal is a good sign. But if he has any nerve damage with it, which is common with about 50% hip fractures, that's going to delay his return. Basically, look at his images. It's like he was probably at least, his hip was probably a good 6 feet off the ground, or at least 5 feet, and he got slammed in. That's similar to getting hit by a car at that height. So
yeah,
it's so I think we're talking minimum 3 months. I would be shocked if he's back before mid-March in terms of just playing. Well, the good thing is that gives him a month before the playoffs start. So,
hey, question for you on this injury: Is there anything from this injury that could set back worse, like longer, or no?
Yes. Sometimes when you have a hip injury like that, there's a nerve that runs right alongside the area where he got the fracture. And if that nerve is damaged, which they can't tell yet, they don't know that yet.
Okay.
If that nerve is damaged, then his recovery time, his PT time is going to be way longer. So I've seen other people have nerve injury with it. And it can take them 5 or 6 months before they come back from that.
And then is there a chance that this could cause any like permanent setbacks when it comes to like mobility or anything if it's a bad enough injury? I don't know if you know.
I think that's unlikely for him. When you see more permanent injury would be like if the bone is completely displaced and they have to do surgery to realign the bone, and that's more an issue. But so far, there's no evidence of that, or at least they haven't said anything about that for Chet. I think they would have said if he was going to have surgery. Because if you're going to have surgery, you need to do it immediately. You can't like wait weeks and then do it later. So it sounds like that's not going to be an issue for him. I'm just thinking that I would be just very surprised if he's doing any kind of weight bearing activities before, mid-March at least. Is my thinking. We'll see what happens. I know these guys have experts that can hopefully get them recovered faster, but that's what I would guess at this moment. Like I said, I don't have his images or that kind of stuff, so I can't say 100%. But that's my guess. That's what's happening. So I guess my question to you guys: let's assume he comes back, has no complications, comes back mid-March or so. Playoffs start April 18th or 20th or something like that. I guess my question to you guys is how much will he be back to playing 100% by then? I mean, with his injury history, now this prior injury has nothing to do with his hip joint, which is good, so that works in his favor. I don't know by the playoffs if my guess is he'll probably be able to play, but that he won't be 100% by then. Hopefully Hartenstein will take over or at least supplement that. But what do you guys think about him coming back for the playoffs?
Hey, thanks for the call, Platoon. That's some good stuff you shared. So appreciate it. And here's what I would say to that is my concern with the injury is it's not like an injury like he could be, if it was a hand or something, he could be doing lower body. Like he's pretty much can't do anything for a while. So I think when he does come back, it might take him a bit because it's not like all he can do right now is upper body, if that. So
if that. Yes.
If that. So that's my concern. The other concern is we've all been wanting to watch him and Hartenstein play together, and now it will be March before that would even happen, maybe February or March. So, their chemistry as well. So I think there is some concerns to that, Platoon, for sure.
Yeah, and I think something that's just super crucial when it comes to this is it just speaks to the importance of you needing Hartenstein and Jay Will whenever they both get back to stay healthy, because you're not going to know what really, like we do know in a sense as Thunder fans what Hartenstein is as a player, but we haven't been able to see what he's going to look like in this Thunder system. So if he inserts himself maybe in kind of an effortless way, maybe that kind of takes some pressure off having to force Chet kind of maybe back faster just because Hartenstein's having a similar impact to what Chet did.
Yeah. The difference is Hartenstein won't score like Chet did. What was that?
Yes.
Real quick before we get to Colin, read an article today from Oklahoman Justin Martinez talking about the injury. He compared it to a BMJ case report from 2011. 16-year-old Brazilian national team athlete, fracture, same injury. The athlete had to rest for 40 days, avoiding any weight on the leg. Took him 14 weeks to come back to full playing time. So it's a rare injury. It's not something that happens a lot. And unfortunately,
it's unfortunate.
His kind of build. I mean, when you take contact and kind of as Platoon says, it's when you're hitting the deck like that, it's like getting hit by a car. I mean, there's nothing there on his hip to protect him. So,
that's a good point. And Jordan makes a good point about the Hartenstein thing. It's a huge signing. And also, Chet is not built to play the 5 day in and day out. So I think he's already taken – he's been taking a beating over the last year and this year. He played 82 games last year. So, and his body's not ready for that. It's just not. And hey, let's get to Colin. I think Colin's on the line. Colin, what's on your mind tonight?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
How are you?
I always got to call in for the Thunder games.
That's right.
So my thought about the Thunder is I thought they played pretty well without their big man. I think you saw the definitely upside the small ball lineup.
Yeah.
But to your allowing all the threes, I think we're going to have to deal with it more and more and see it more and more because we don't have any big men right now. And I'm surprised. I'm thankful the Clippers coach wasn't capitalizing on this using Zubac the whole game that's down below because we were having to double team the whole time just to try to come up with size. But I thought J-Dub and, like you guys said, J-Dub and Caruso kind of held their own out there for a little. But I thought also the biggest thing was Shea only having one turnover.
Yeah.
I feel like when he's good with the ball, passing it around, whole team chemistry's going, we're like one of the hardest teams to beat, and it definitely looked like that today.
I agree, Colin, and it was pretty obvious to me that Mark talked to Shea after yesterday and said, hey, down the stretch, we got to be better moving the ball. I mean, you could just tell. He was very quick with his passes, very quick on the decisions. Like he knew, get it out of my hands. If I get it back, that's fine. But if not, we got to facilitate a little more. And he was great tonight. He was great.
I also thought J-Dub took a good step in trying to benefit. And I think J-Dub is decent and good enough to run that point guard position, in my opinion, when Shea's off the bench.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
All right.
This is an interesting take right here.
Hey, thanks for the call, Colin.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Yeah, what do you think about this? I mean,
I'm still not for it right now.
You're waiting till the trade deadline and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that and I mean, again, unless there's a setback, when those guys are reevaluated and hopefully able to return to play in J. Will and Hartenstein, I mean, you're 3 weeks out from that. I think you just ride with what you got. Hope Kenny can step up some more. 6 minutes tonight, as I mentioned earlier. Would imagine him start to play a little bit more and maybe even getting into that starting lineup or kind of more of a six-man role to help out at times down low. So I don't see a reason at this point in time to go trade for somebody because in all likelihood with how the cap is, I would have to pull up the Thunder's cap to be exact on this.
Well, there's another one saying Drummond right there.
Yeah. In Drummond, I mean, yeah, that's a good option as well. But again, I don't think teams are going to take, if the Thunder can even finesse it financially, going to take a trade in which they're not getting a player in return. I don't think it's worth it right now for the Thunder to give up one of those wings or guards that they have at this point in time to get a big.
Hey, let me ask you guys this, and this is for the chat too. So drop your answer in the chat, please. It would be great. But realistically, I'm not going to ask for a record, but realistically, when Chet comes back, where do you think they'll be on the Western Conference in the standings? What position are you thinking right now?
Top three.
Top three? Yeah. I think it's too jumbled. I think I would expect 4 or 5.
That's where I'm at, Jim.
Because I think it's just like last year, the Western Conference. There's going to be 1 or 2 games that separates from like 2 to 6. And
last year, it was the final game of the season determined the top 3 teams in the West. That's how close it was. It's going to be the same.
If they're top 3, that's an unbelievable year with Chet not playing. When he comes back. If they're still top 3 when he comes back, that would be an outstanding. Jackson, I think that'd be great. I just feel like it might be a little bit lower.
You know, and why I say that is because I think the Thunder going small is going to increase their offensive game some in a sense until Hartenstein and J. Will are able to come back. It is going to hurt on the defensive end.
Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of games like today, Jackson. You're right.
Yes, the Thunder will probably – and then I do think we're going to see Shea, like we saw tonight, take a jump. And potentially, I wouldn't be shocked over this next month if Shea's averaging close to 32, 33 a night. Like, I just think we're going to see that from Shea. There's a reason why he was in the talks for MVP at the beginning of the year, why he was one of the finalists for MVP last year. I think Shea's going to take that jump, and we need to see J-Dub become that elite 2 option that we've seen the flashes of. Now he just needs to be that consistently while Chet's out. And then I think Thunder will be perfectly fine. Within, as you guys said, the top 4, 5, 3 in the West.
Yeah. Hey, this would be a great year for Shai if he's going to win an MVP. If they have what I mean is like if Chet's out and they're still top 3 or something, then his
Yes.
name and he's scoring 30, 35. Yeah. I mean,
I do think they need to change the MVP, have a Jokic trophy, and then a trophy for everyone else. Because
what
Jokic is doing right now, no one else is winning MVP. I mean, SGA could probably average 35, and he's not going to win MVP with what Jokic is doing right now.
Yeah, he's killing it right now. So you
Yeah,
can't argue.
one of the
And
best
every
players.
time I watch him, I'm like,
Jokic
how
is the best
does he do it?
Yeah.
Every time I watch him, I'm like, how he looks like he just rolled off the couch.
He doesn't want to be there, just wants to be with his horses. And turns out he's really, really good at basketball.
It's I don't understand it how he does it.
I know. I don't either, but it's crazy. Was that German that joined back, I think, maybe?
Yep.
He said he was going to join back here as we close it out, I think. There's a couple things they have to get. I know this could be a topic for another night probably, but the whole 3-point defense, I know it's probably going to be worse because you don't have a big. I get it. So there's only so much you can do there. But it's probably something you're going to have to live with over the next at least till Hartenstein comes back. And then you see. But, guys, do you expect Hartenstein to come back and play a ton? I mean, how many minutes is he going to be playing? He'd be playing a lot.
I think he'd come back and probably play close to 30, if not more than 30 a night. Go ahead, Hunter.
I think they'll start him at about 20. I think what they do with Kenny will kind of tell a little bit. Again, different injury with Hartenstein, but tell kind of what their return to play is going to be for these guys, how much they ease them back into it and all that.
And then isn't it also correct? Is Jay Will, he's out like another 3 to 4 weeks or something?
Jay Will, yeah,
reevaluated, yes.
Jay Will could be back at the same time as Hartenstein.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Hey, closing thoughts, guys. Jerm, you got a closing thought?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I thought it was. Did I hear Hunter say that there should be a Jokic trophy?
It's a joke. No one else.
Jokic, not Jokic, first of all.
Here's my thoughts. My thoughts are it was a good win tonight after the loss to the Warriors. It's a way to rebound. There's some still issues on the defensive side of the ball, 3-point shooting, but able to still score at a high level. I mean, you score 134 points without Chet Holmgren. Offense is not going to be an issue on this team. They got guys who can score. Defense can be an issue. You lose a lot of length. You use a lot of athleticism. You lose your only rim protector that you have moving forward. So, yeah, still a concern.
Jackson, what about you? Last thought here.
I think you just got to find a way these next few weeks to rally the troops, put together some dubs, keep yourself atop the Western Conference. Shai, he's got to play like an MVP, as I've said multiple times tonight. Shai's got to be Shai, got to do Shai things. J-Dub has got to take that step to being that consistent number 2 option. Alex Caruso is going to need to hit some shots. He was better than that. He was, but you might need some double-digit scoring nights from Alex Caruso. It's probably just going to have to happen. And then Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, Kenrich Williams, I think he's going to be a big X factor these next few weeks, especially because we know what he's going to do on the boards and defensively. He's going to be tough. He's going to fight. But can he knock down the open threes when he gets them? Can he score maybe 5 to 7 points a night? Just find a way to win some games and keep yourself atop the Western Conference until Hartenstein and Williams are back.
Yeah, Caruso, I think he took a step in the right direction. You got to see more of it from him, but significantly better on the offensive end. Best offensive game for him of the season so far than what you got from him the last few nights. Again, it's keep your head above the water type of situation right now. Looking even more into the schedule, mean, right now they're in this 6-game home stretch. They're halfway through it. They have 3 more. Then after that, 9 of their next 11 are on the road. And you're on the road for all of those games with only 1 big on your roster. It's going to be tough to do, but they're going to have to figure it out. And I think tonight showed that they can, playing a big that can be dominant, especially when there's not somebody size-wise to match up with them and box. So, yeah, we'll have to see what they're able to do over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and that's a great point by Jordan too, getting the turnovers. What I would say is without Hartenstein, without Chet, what you have to do is you have to win games like tonight against the Clippers, because the next 3 games you got the Pelicans, Suns, and Mavericks. Okay, what you have to do is win the games you should win. The ones that they're against, like Suns, Mavericks, if you can win, yeah. But if you lose them, but you got to win the games that you should win, because that's going to keep you in the standings where you need to be. You can't be going on losing streaks, losing games that you shouldn't. So beat teams like the Clippers, the Pelicans. All right, you got to win those type games, because then when you get your tougher matchups, it's kind of a flip a coin on it. So that's what I would say to keep you kind of up there is what they're going to do. And we're going to see how good Mark Daigneault is, because the lineups he's going to have to come up with, how they're going to have to play some of these games with matchups. You're going to see how good of a coach he really is, because he's a really dang good coach. And I think he's going to prove it even in this scenario. So, but hey, appreciate everybody joining tonight. Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you for the freedom we have. Thank you for all that you do. If you have served, or you know that somebody has served, just tell them thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for being on here tonight with us. We appreciate it. We'll be back Wednesday night as the Pelicans take on the Thunder. We'll be back live after that game. But everybody, thank you. Have a great night.